Matt Bernier, Dan Illman taking a look back at the Ontario Fashion Stakes from Woodbine this past Saturday afternoon here on Weekend Wrap. You had a heavy favorite coming in from North America, or in North America, I should say, coming in from the States for Christophe Clement. That was Stormy Victoria, and unfortunately for Stormy Victoria, she has a little bit of trouble, but we'll see that momentarily. As they break from the gate, you're going to see a couple of horses that want to go. Southern Ring, the number 2 horse, being sent out there to the front end. You're going to see Code Warrior coming up and pressing throughout. I got to be honest, Dan, you know over this synthetic surface, 22-2, 44-4, that's a hot pace.
This is a blazing pace up front. It didn't appear it was going to be like that going in, but Code Warrior is kind of jacked up on the outside, and she is pulling Anne Sanguinetti. You see Southern Ring down there in the 2 path, and down towards the inside, 50-1 Northern Kiss. They're all prompting it. The horse on the far outside getting a little bit of benefit of this pace is the 6 Moonlight Promise, although, boy, she's taken the worst of it from a ground law standpoint.
Very wide, making this big sweeping move, but again, we touched on the fractions, 22-2, 44-4 for the half mile. Keep an eye on the 3, the big gray down on the inside, because unfortunately for Stormy Victoria, that rail, it ain't going to be there for much longer.
It looked like it was going to be there all day long, and now she has absolutely no chance. Now, whether she would have finished and sealed the deal is a different story, but you just throw this race out. Moonlight Promise, to her credit, despite the ground loss. There's a nice kicker on the outside, Mink Surprise, who probably wants a little more than the 6 furlongs, but Moonlit Promise has gotten back into form in her 2 starts recently for trainer Josie Carroll.
$6.80 win mutual for Moonlit Promise winning the Ontario Fashion. Mink Surprise runs second, $5.90 to place, I should say. And then Code Warrior, the 7, she finishes third, $4.20. Your $2 Triactor, $177.50, $2 Exactor, $42.80. Moonlit Promise, as you may mention, she's back in raging good form. She goes out there, she runs races. This is kind of her, an 86 buyer. She's never going to be a superstar, but she is a very, very useful horse for Josie Carroll and company. I thought it was a good ride, and again, it helps when you get a big pace setup too.
Big pace helped. Gary Boulanger showed a lot of confidence aboard Moonlit Promise, keeping her in a 4 path all the way throughout the turn. She lost significant ground, but she kept on going. These connections, they tried to stretch her out earlier in her career. It didn't work out. She is very comfortable at the 6, 6.5, 7 furlongs. You got to wonder how much more racing there is for Moonlit Promise, because you just look at the bottom of her pedigree page. I mean, boy, just tons of big names. She's a very valuable broodmare prospect.
She's been added the exacta once from 8 lifetime starts, 5 victories to her name. Mink Surprise, you brought it up. I think distance ultimately. This 3/4 of a mile might be a little bit on the sharp side.
She can handle the 6. She's the kind of horse that'll run well at 6. She'll run well at 1.25 miles. You just give her a little bit of pace and race luck, and she'll be fine. She tried to make the last move here, but she just ran out of racetrack. Mink Surprise is just an honest, hard-hitting horse. She and Code Warrior began their careers in Northern California, and they really relish a synthetic surface. If they go on with either one of them, Code Warrior's speed plays very well at the 6 furlong distance, and Mink Surprise has options, whether it's turf, whether it's synth, but I think a longer distance helps her.
Code Warrior and Southern Ring, they were the 2 that kind of duked it out. Southern Ring got drifty, unfortunately, cost Stormy Victoria. Southern Ring is an odd horse because she has occasional races that are very, very good, very, very strong. She has occasional ones that are complete bombs like this, but again, the pace was hot.
The pace was very, very hot. I also thought, looking at some of the charts and some of the races, speed didn't do very well at Woodbine on Saturday, so Southern Ring and Code Warrior might have a little bit of an excuse there. I think Southern Ring is pretty good. I think that she just needs a situation where Code Warrior is not in the race. Give her a nice, easy lead, and she's going to make fields like this hurt.
Stormy Victoria for Christophe. Obviously, this is a situation where less than ideal. There was obviously the major trouble there. It still feels like, although she had won on synthetic overseas, it kind of feels like her best runs have come on turf.
There's no doubt about it. Her best runs have come on turf. She has a strong late kick on the turf. But if you look through Stormy Victoria's past performances, there are situations like this where she happens to find trouble. And I wonder, that hole was there. She was going to shoot on through down towards the inside. She wasn't going to finish last, obviously. I wonder if she would have sealed the deal. I was a big Stormy Victoria fan when she first came over here, and she's kind of lost me. This race, this trouble line means she probably gets bet if she shows up one more time, and I'll probably be against her again.
Moonlit Promise gets the job done for Josie Carroll in the Ontario Fashion. Gets an 86 buyer in victory.